What if the gap between average success and becoming a billionaire isn't about genius-level intelligence, a lucky break, or some wild, once-in-a-lifetime idea? What if it's just habits? A private report from JPMorgan, originally meant for their top-tier billionaire clients, just surfaced, and it shows that the real keys to their mind-boggling success have nothing to do with crazy crypto bets or high-risk schemes. Instead, it boils down to 7 simple disciplines. The report surveyed over 100 billionaires with a combined net worth of more than $500 billion and pinpointed the core practices that consistently build their wealth for the long haul. We've got that list, and we're about to break down every single habit, including the #1 practice that Warren Buffett says is the secret to his compounding knowledge. For years, we've been sold this idea that extreme wealth is built on a foundation of complex financial jargon, high-stakes venture capital, and some kind of market timing superpower. We picture billionaires as a totally different breed, playing a game the rest of us can't even see. But this JPMorgan report pulls back the curtain, and what it reveals is almost disappointingly simple. The habits that separate the ultra-wealthy from everyone else aren't secret or complicated. They are everyday disciplines that any of us can do. The difference is, they practice them with an absolutely relentless consistency. The single biggest theme from hours of conversations with these titans of industry was an obsession with being intentional with their time. As one anonymous billionaire put it in the report, "The currency of life is time. It is not money. You think carefully about how you spend $1. You should think just as carefully as how you spend 1 hour." That mindset is the foundation for everything else. They don't just manage their time, they architect it. They don't just live their days, they design them. So, let's get into the 7 battle-tested habits, backed by data from the world's most successful people, and see how you can start using them today. Habit number 1, reading. The first and most important habit, the one that tops the JPMorgan list, is reading. Now, I know that sounds almost old-fashioned. We have AI that can summarize any book in seconds and a fire hose of information on our phones. Yet, the world's most successful people aren't skimming headlines or asking ChatGPT for the summary. They are doing deep, focused reading. Warren Buffett is the poster child for this. Early in his career, he was reading hundreds of pages a day. Even now, he dedicates about 80% of his day to reading. He's not just reading novels, he's consuming everything from the Wall Street Journal to dense annual reports. Why? Buffett said it himself. Read 500 pages like this every day. That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I guarantee not many of you will do it. And this isn't just for fun. The JPMorgan report dropped a fascinating detail. As a hobby, reading only ranked 7th for billionaires. For them, reading isn't primarily for relaxation. It's infrastructure. It's a strategic tool for sharpening their judgment, seeing patterns others miss, and understanding the world on a deeper level. Bill Gates is another famous example. He's known for being a voracious reader who credits it as his main way of learning. In a world drowning in information, the billionaire habit is to hunt for wisdom. They understand that while information is everywhere, real knowledge, the kind that lets you connect the dots and make better decisions, is priceless. It's the ultimate long-term play. You can start today. Don't aim for 500 pages. Just start with 25. Block out 30 minutes every day, no distractions, and read something that actually challenges you. Treat it like a meeting with a mentor. Over time, that small investment will compound into an intellectual edge that no AI summary can ever replicate. Habit number 2, exercise. Habit number 2 is something that shows up again and again in the lives of the ultra-wealthy. Regular, structured exercise. This has nothing to do with looking good for Instagram or chasing some fitness fad. For billionaires, physical health is the bedrock of peak mental performance. They know that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, and it demands incredible stamina, focus, and resilience. Just think about the pressure they're under. They're making calls that can impact thousands of jobs and billions of dollars. Burnout isn't just a possibility, it's a constant enemy at the gates. Exercise is their secret weapon for managing stress and keeping their energy high so they can perform at an elite level, day in and day out. Raphael Badziak, who spent 5 years interviewing 21 self-made billionaire entrepreneurs, found that every single one of them had a strict exercise routine. Take Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group. He's up at 5 a.m., on to play tennis, walk, or kite surf. He says it puts him in a great mind frame before getting down to business. Interestingly, the JPMorgan report found that outdoor activities and nature ranked as the #1 passion for these individuals, even more than their work. That signals a deep understanding that connecting with nature and moving your body gives you a strategic edge. It's what gives you the endurance to survive a market crash and the clarity to see the next big opportunity. The takeaway here is to stop seeing exercise as a chore and start seeing it as a critical part of your workday. Schedule it in your calendar, like a meeting you can't miss. It doesn't have to be a soul-crushing workout. It could be a brisk 30-minute walk, a bike ride like the one Starbucks founder Howard Schultz enjoys, or a weekend hike. The key is consistency. When you make your health a priority, you're investing in the single most important asset you own, your ability to think, endure, and perform. Habit number 3, consistency. If you had to pick one word to describe how billionaires operate, it's consistency. The JPMorgan report hammers this point home. Their success doesn't come from rare moments of genius, but from unwavering daily disciplines. They don't run on motivation, which, as we all know, comes and goes. They build and rely on systems. This is the engine that drives all the other habits. It's not about reading one book that changes your life. It's about reading every day for 20 years. It's not about one brutal workout. It's about moving your body every single day. This is the boring but beautiful path to wealth. It's the tiny, seemingly meaningless actions, repeated over and over, that snowball into massive results. This applies directly to their money, too. Most self-made millionaires and billionaires automate their financial discipline. They live by the simple rule: pay yourself first. A slice of their income, maybe 10 to 15% or more, gets automatically funneled into investments before they can even think about spending it. This takes emotion and willpower completely out of the picture. It turns wealth building into an automatic process. They're not trying to time the market. They're focused on time in the market, letting consistency and compounding do the work for them. Many investors struggle with this, putting money in sporadically instead of on a schedule, which stunts their growth. The wealthy know the frequency of the investment is just as crucial as the amount. The actionable takeaway? Find one small, positive action and commit to it. Automate a weekly transfer to your investment account, even if it's just a small amount to start. Commit to that 30 minutes of reading every morning. No excuses. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's just to not break the chain. Because as the report shows, it's the disciplined follow-through, long after the initial excitement dies down, that separates the dreamers from the doers. Habit number 4, waking up early. The fourth habit, waking up early, is probably the most famous trait of successful people, and the JPMorgan report confirms it. In one study, Nearly half of self-made millionaires woke up at least 3 hours before their workday officially started. Apple CEO Tim Cook is known for starting his day around 3:45 a.m. But this isn't about being morally superior for getting up early. It's a strategic move to own your time before the world owns you. Those early morning hours are golden. They're quiet, they're calm, and they're free from the world's demands. No new emails, no ringing phones, no fires to put out. This is the uninterrupted time block that billionaires use for the other habits on this list: exercising, reading, and strategic thinking. By getting up early, they're not really adding more work hours to their day. They're investing in themselves before their time gets sliced and diced by everyone else. They're starting the day on offense, not defense. Jeff Bezos, for example, wakes up naturally and saves his mornings for high-quality time, like reading the paper, reserving his most important, high IQ meetings for 10 a.m. He knows his brain power is at its peak in the morning, and he protects that time fiercely. This all comes back to that core idea of intentionality. Waking up early is the ultimate act of taking control of your time. It's a statement that your priorities, your health, your learning, your planning, come first. You can start small. Just set your alarm 30 minutes earlier than usual. The crucial part? Don't grab your phone. Use that time for one productive activity. Journal, meditate, read a chapter, or plan your day. If you can win the morning, you're in a much stronger position to win the day. Habit number 5, prioritizing tasks. Habit number 5 is a masterclass in productivity. Ruthless prioritization. Billionaires don't just manage their time, they guard it like a fortress. They are obsessed with the return on investment for every minute of their day. And that means they are masters of a skill that most ambitious people find incredibly difficult: saying no. As the JPMorgan report points out, these people engineer their days around high-leverage activities. They are constantly cutting away distractions and commitments that don't directly serve their main goals. Their calendars aren't just a list of things they have to do, they're a statement of their priorities. Warren Buffett famously said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." He's not being a jerk. He's protecting his focus for the few things that will actually move the needle. Elon Musk is famous for his time-blocking method, meticulously scheduling his day to squeeze out maximum efficiency. Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, and says he only makes a few high-quality decisions per day, usually in the morning, and pushes the rest off. He knows that decision fatigue is a real thing, and that making 3 great choices is far better than making 30 mediocre ones. Studies show that wealthy people are far more likely to keep a daily to-do list and, critically, to actually complete most of the tasks on it. The way to apply this is to adopt a less but better mindset. Start your day by identifying the 1 to 3 most important tasks that will create the biggest impact. Do those first, before the chaos of the day takes over. Look at your calendar, look at your subscriptions, and do an audit. Where are your time and money going? Cut out the low-return activities. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're silently saying no to something that truly matters. Billionaires know their most limited resource isn't money, it's focus, and they guard it with their life. Habit number 6, goal setting. The 6th habit that defines the ultra-wealthy is their approach to goals. They don't just have vague wishes like, "I want to be rich" or "I want to succeed." Their goals are specific, they are clear, and most importantly, they are paired with an aggressive bias toward action. This mindset is perfectly captured by a simple but powerful mental switch. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," they ask, "How can I afford that?" That one-word change reframes a dead end into a problem to be solved. It sparks creativity and demands action. Billionaires don't just have dreams, they have projects. They create vision boards, they write detailed plans, and they track their progress with relentless focus. And this isn't just about business. They set goals for their health, their learning, and their relationships. A great example is Jeff Bezos, who had a clear, long-term vision for Amazon to be stubborn on vision, but flexible on details. He held a 20-year vision for the company, but he focused on making small, daily moves to get there. This long-term view allows them to stay calm during short-term turbulence, seeing setbacks not as failures, but as learning experiences on a much longer road. To put this into practice, start by defining exactly what you want with total clarity. What does success look like in 1 year? In 5 years? Write it down. Now, break it down into steps. What is the one thing you can do today to move an inch closer to that goal? The trick is to turn your ambition from a passive wish into an active hunt. Review your goals every week, or even every night. This simple habit keeps your priorities straight and builds unstoppable momentum. Billionaires don't wait for perfect conditions. They set a clear target and they start moving. Habit number 7, deep thinking time. The final habit, and maybe the most underrated in our constantly connected world, is the discipline of scheduling time just to think. If reading builds the database of knowledge, deep thinking is where that knowledge gets synthesized into actual wisdom and strategy. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a structured practice of unplugging from the noise to reflect, strategize, and see the big picture that everyone else is too busy to notice. Billionaires religiously block out time on their calendars to do nothing but think. Bill Gates is legendary for his think weeks. Twice a year, he retreats to a cabin with a stack of books and papers to just read and ponder the future. Many of Microsoft's biggest strategic moves were born in those quiet weeks. They're asking themselves huge questions. What will the world look like in 5 years? What big trends are quietly emerging? Where are the biggest opportunities that no one is talking about yet? This is what allows them to skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been. This habit is also about curating their environment. You've probably heard the Jim Rohn quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." The ultra-wealthy live by this. They are incredibly deliberate about who they surround themselves with, seeking out people who challenge them, expand their thinking, and hold them to a higher standard. For most of us, our days are packed with back-to-back meetings and a constant stream of notifications, leaving zero room for quiet reflection. The way to fix this is to schedule thinking time in your calendar as if it were a client meeting. Start with just 15 to 30 minutes, twice a week. Find a quiet spot, leave your phone in another room, and bring a notebook. Use that time to review your goals or just ask big questions. The insights that come from these moments of silence are often the ones that lead to the biggest breakthroughs. In a world obsessed with doing, the ultimate advantage often comes from a strategic pause. When you pull back and look at all 7 habits together, reading, exercise, consistency, waking early, prioritizing, goal setting, and deep thinking, a powerful pattern emerges. It's not about any single habit. It's about how they all work together, creating a powerful flywheel effect. The pattern is extreme intentionality. Billionaires don't just float through life and see what happens. They are the architects of their lives, and these habits are their tools. And notice how they all feed each other. Waking up early creates the time for reading and exercise. Reading compounds their knowledge, which leads to better goals and deeper thinking. Consistency is the glue that holds it all together, turning small daily actions into decades of success. And prioritization acts like a laser, focusing all that energy on the few things that matter. Ultimately, These habits all point to a single core belief: that your most valuable asset isn't money, it's time. And the most powerful force for change isn't luck, it's discipline. They manage their time, energy, and attention with the same care that they manage their investment portfolios. They're playing the long game, and their daily routines are designed to make sure they have the stamina, clarity, and foresight to win it. So, there you have it. The 7 disciplines that, according to JPMorgan's private look into the lives of billionaires, form the foundation of their success. As you can see, there's no secret sauce or financial magic here. It all comes down to a set of simple, powerful actions. Read to learn, exercise for energy, be consistent, own your mornings, prioritize ruthlessly, set clear goals, and make time to think. The message here is incredibly empowering. It means that the road to extraordinary success is paved with ordinary habits, just practiced with extraordinary discipline. These aren't secrets of the elite. They're available to anyone who is willing to execute. But don't let the simplicity fool you. The power is in the compound effect over years and decades. You don't have to tackle all 7 at once. The best way to start is to pick just one. Find the one habit that speaks to you the most right now and commit to it for the next 30 days. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day. Master that one, then stack the next one on top of it. The journey to building your wealth and your best life begins with a single, intentional step. The only question is, which step are you going to take? Let me know in the comments below. Which of these 7 habits are you going to commit to this week? I'd love to hear what you're working on. And if you got value from this breakdown, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video.